I'll give you a perfect example.
Why did
It's
you
this
bring me up if you
idea.
don't want to talk? Like, nobody
So
wants to hear
I
you
do want to
preach.
talk, but you're going to wait to be called on. If I have to, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to drop you, inTank. Okay? Because I
Uh,
already talked to you last night for 30 minutes. I'll
right,
give
you
you
let
a
me
few
talk
more
then.
minutes to. Okay, so if I have to unmute you again before I call on you, I'm going to drop you. So, anyways, our history books have this idea that white people need to be heroic. And I'll give you a certain quote. It's one of my favorite quotes from the Pearson American History book that has sold throughout the entire Midwest. There's a statement that says Andrew Johnson is an honorable, well-intentioned man, but is known as one of the most controversial presidencies. So the guy who said, and I quote, "This country is for white people, and by God a government governed by white people," as he actively took away all the promises that were given to the slaves after they became quote unquote free with an executive order. Some people don't even understand that. We don't even get told that the Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order. We don't get told that. We also don't get told that Abraham Lincoln said that he would do the Civil War, and if he could win it without freeing the slaves, he would. He also pulled an entire group of 30 to 40 black men into the White House and said, "I'm thinking about sending you guys all back because your education and your ability to understand things is lower than the white man and a detriment to the society." This is what Frederick Douglass had reported that Abraham Lincoln said. So with all due respect, white people have elected racist white leaders the entire time we have been here. We don't get told these things. So white people think we have this like heroic stoicism of history, and it's just not true. But anyways, inTank, what do you want to say?
Yeah, it sounds like you guys just live in a world of victimhood and craziness, to be honest. And I don't understand. I love how I can't say more than 2 sentences. It's very telling.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through this last night. So, yeah, if you're going to call on me, I mean, give me more than 2 sentences, right? So, you guys want to just live in history forever, or do you want to just kind of live like today? Because how can I be responsible for people I've never known, situations I've never dealt with? Can only be responsible for your own personal decisions. That's how the law works. That's how society works. A functioning society. That's how it works. Mm-hmm. So why are we living in this victimhood, oppressed Olympics? Oh, I'm so oppressed. The systemic racism has me down. Why do you want to live like that?
Can I answer you?
Yeah.
Because no black person told you what you just said. That's what white people say amongst themselves. So let me give you the answer. You're in a conversation right now, right? Not in history, correct? You and I are having a present day conversation, yes?
Yeah, well, we're going to find out.
Okay, and you are defending policies of the past, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't know
All right.
what the
So then
policy is
what you
defended
are
yet.
for then, so then you are for the equitableness in schools. So then what you are for is making sure that all schools are funded the same, no matter whether the students are poor or black or Mexican or Asian, right? Then that's what you're for, right?
Yeah, but they're not. They're not.
No. I'm just trying to ask you, are you for that today in 2025?
There's a lot of variables there. So I don't know.
Well, I'm just asking you because again, just two things real quick. You just said, why are we focused on history? We're not focused on history. We're talking about the present and how you are behaving in the same historic patterns. So that's why I'm asking you, how are your patterns different from the historical patterns? And that's why you think when we're talking about things today, that's why you think we're talking about history. But as of today, you are not fighting for the equity of all children, no matter their race or income level, to have their schools funded in the same way.
Oh, I don't think we've ever met. So how do you know that?
Because you just said it. I just asked you the question and that was your answer.
No, it wasn't. You should
Were
play
you
it
not
back.
just hearing the conversation when you said that there were too many variables?
Yeah, I remember that part.
Well, for me, they're not. We can fund schools the same because I believe all children in America, irrespective of race and income level, should have their schools funded in the same way. That's my belief. You don't share that belief.
Well, because it's
if
not.
you don't share
There's a lot of
that
variables
belief,
that go involved with
Your belief
it.
is
All
a
right.
historical one.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it's just not that simple, though. You guys can try to think it's that simple. It's just not. It's just not.
Then
So I
give
live
us an
next to.
actual fucking
Okay, but that's
answer.
what I'm saying. So then have you come up with a progressive new
No.
plan that doesn't reflect the historical racist ones?
Okay, so like I live next to Milwaukee, so they have MPS, and these guys can't even manage $1 billion budget a year. I mean, it's so inept, and they get so much outside funding from the state because their property values are so low because they've destroyed their entire city for the most part. But they get more money than everybody. It's like $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 per pupil right now. It's insane. and their graduation rate's like 20%. It's the worst I've ever seen it. Their test scores are
So
so
have you ever
dismal that the state superintendent changed testing so they wouldn't look so bad.
Yes,
so
yes,
have you
intake.
ever
So
heard of
So
separate but equal? Have you ever heard of separate but equal?
I don't know, but you know who runs Milwaukee? It's the
Have you ever heard that
Democrats.
term before?
Do you know who runs Milwaukee? It's the Democrats. They've run Milwaukee forever.
can you
But
answer her
Forever.
question, or you're going to be dropped?
Oh, oh. Okay, answer. Let's ask away.
So you're just
no, I mean,
she,
I'm just asking a simple question. Have you heard the term separate but equal?
Yes,
Okay, that's an historical term, right?
sure.
Okay, because schools were segregated, and that the argument for keeping them segregated,
I don't think.
was that it is equal, and they just are not performing. We're giving them money, and they're not performing. They're not doing good on their tests. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. That was the argument for segregation. So what I'm trying to say to you is, if you just don't seem to know the history, people
Right.
are not arguing with you about what happened in the past. They're arguing because you're repeating the same pattern today.
Okay, I don't think you heard me. I was talking about Milwaukee. We're in the north. We didn't have segregation.
I heard you.
Oh,
What makes you think that I didn't hear was
because you're
Milwaukee,
talking about something that
and
doesn't
that I don't know
apply.
where it is?
intake before you respond,
Stop
guys. We
muting
have
me.
50 plus. No, I can do what I want. It's my life.
Yeah.
I want to talk
But
to my
I,
chat. Stop
I'm sorry.
talking. No, you're okay. You're okay, Valerie. Do what you got to do. I'm trying to talk to intake. He's slowing the conversation down. If you would just give me a second, guys. There's 50 people in the live. Could we just tap the live, keep it
I
protected,
gotta
keep it on
eat.
the FYP?
Sorry, I
As
gotta eat.
my guest here absolutely destroys intake. I cooked him last night for 30 minutes, and now Valerie's doing it today. He comes in here. He loves to be charbroiled like a Hardee's burger. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Go ahead, intake. You can talk now.
But
Okay,
what I'm
what
saying to you,
segregation is happening in MPS?
the same way that we have segregation, just the same thing that we've been talking about, the segregation of schools. So you
Yeah,
had
but
forced
where?
segregation.
I know you're just saying platitudes. You're
You
just
have
saying
it.
like
You have it in
buzzwords.
Milwaukee, my love. You have it in
Where? How?
Milwaukee, my love.
Where? Yeah, how?
You don't have areas that are race-based areas in Milwaukee. Is that what you're gonna tell me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's where people live.
So you don't have predominantly white and predominantly black schools in Milwaukee?
Well, the charter schools and the private ones are probably a little bit more white, but no, it's a prominently black area. I mean, Milwaukee is very, very black.
Okay. Okay. So again, you were talking about how these schools were or were not performing and how they were using money and how they're not using money. And what I am saying to you is in 2025, you are using the same arguments from 1950. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I know,
So
but that
when
doesn't make any
people are
sense.
talking to you today, it doesn't make sense that you're using the same arguments
No, what?
because the arguments used in 1950 were overturned by the Supreme Court. Yet here you are in 2025 resurrecting the
Right.
same argument.
But it's black schools run by black people, run by Democrats, and some of those are white Democrats. But
Okay,
so who's segregating who?
and what you're doing is you are making a separate but equal argument that they don't deserve X, Y, and Z because they have not done LMNOP.
I didn't say they didn't deserve
That's
anything.
your
I want a
argument.
better school.
Your argument is that those children do not deserve it.
No, you're just thinking of random
That
crazy
they don't
stuff.
deserve better resources. Okay, so are you
Huh.
telling me
Where did
that
I say
these
that?
schools that you're
They
talking
have more
about?
money than anybody.
I'm
They
asking.
they get about
I ask a lot.
$2,000 more pupil than my school does.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
I live in a
So
really rich
if
area
let's say that we
with a
live
lot
in
of
houses, right?
mixed race people
Okay,
around me.
wonderful. But let's say I live
Yeah.
let's say that I live in a 1,000 square foot house that was built in the 1930s.
Yeah.
And somebody else lives in a 2,000 square foot house that was built in 2015. And we each are given $2,000 for home repairs. You with me?
Sure.
Okay. So if both of us are equally given $2,000 for home repairs, let's even say the people in the 1930s house are given $5,000 for home repairs, and I'm given $2,000 for home repairs. Would it seem that my 2000 in the newly built house would go further than the $5,000 that I give to somebody in an old home?
I don't know. Depends on where you go.
I mean,
Depends
well,
on
just think
materials
about
used.
it for a second.
No, I don't really want to.
Hello.
I want to talk real stuff.
Okay.
Because you clearly
Okay, so
can't
that's
talk about
not real.
schools.
So real stuff.
No, it's a
is
total
not-
hypothetical.
So as long as you can argue that they were given money and that they misused the money,
Oh, totally
rather than the
misused it.
fact that the money that they were given doesn't go as far because they are in facilities that require more repair, because
Oh.
they have all of these different other things that they have in
No,
the
you can
school.
they do referendums
Our
for repair.
argument
Ma'am, they do
simply
referendums
is
for
that
repair.
They're just bad
No,
people,
no, no.
and that they don't know what they're doing.
No, we do referendums for repair around here. We don't use general budget funds for the most part. For big repairs,
all right.
upgrades, you do referendums. This is where you're completely uneducated on the subject, and I can completely tell that.
Oh.
Right. Because you're just going to talk in platitudes and like big sky things, and you can't get down to the actual details of how the world works.
Why do you think Valerie's uneducated? What has she said that's wrong?
Because she hasn't said anything of any substance this whole time. And I'm just being completely honest. No,
you've ignored everything that she said.
No, I've completely listened to it, and it's just a bunch of BS. So I live in the world of reality.
Tell me one thing that I said. Tell me the one thing.
Everything you said isn't going to fix a single problem.
Here's how you came. You came up here talking about Victim Olympics, right?
Yeah.
That's how you began your conversation.
Right.
You did not begin your conversation as though you're talking to an educated upper middle class black lady. That's not how you began your conversation.
I actually wasn't here to talk to you. I was actually here to talk to the host.
Right, but I'm saying, but who were you calling? Who were you talking about when you were talking about Victim Olympics?
Both of you.
Okay.
I'm not a victim of anything.
Now I'm answering you.
Oh, you act like it.
I'll put myself on mute so that you can talk to the.
Well,
so that
actually,
can
you
talk
don't
to
act
the
like it.
host.
You personally, you act like it for other people.
Because I act like what?
No, see, this is the thing, Valerie.
Hold on. What did he say? No. What did you say? I act like what?
No, him. He acts like it for other people. He acts like the victim on behalf of other people.
Okay, but here's the other question you asked, and I want to answer it for you. You said, why would you give your money or something like this for something in history? I've got a little bit of information for you. There are 47 million black people in this country. And I believe the wealth of black people in this country, I think, is at $5 trillion, I think. I think that what they say is if you took black wealth or black money in this country, that it would rate like in one of the top 5 economies across the world, right? So what I share that with you to share this, black people pay taxes.
Right.
So it's weird to me when white people always talk about black people taking something from them when black people pay taxes into this government. And so when you talk to the other guy who was up here talking about his parents were poor, but then they locked in and these other people need to work. Black people worked in this country for 250 years and weren't paid a dime. They worked for 250 years, slave labor, and didn't earn money. So when you talk about where does this money come from, it comes from the tax base of all the black people who have paid into the tax base over all these years after our ancestors worked for 250 years and were never paid, right? So that's where it comes from because it's a government debt. And so if it is a government debt, and I am a U.S. citizen just as you are a U.S. citizen, and I pay taxes just as you pay taxes, I should be able to have some say in where I want my tax dollars directed. So that to me is what the discussion is. It's not a discussion about oppressive Olympics or victimology. It is actually a discussion about economics. Why should my tax dollars go to make the lives of white people better while I continue to watch black children suffer in dilapidated buildings and dilapidated schools with a lack of resources? Explain to me why I should be paying for the JP Morgans and anybody else to get tax breaks while I am watching children in lead buildings and all of these other things. Why would I not want why would I not want my economic impact to impact the people that matter to me?
You're filibustering. All right, yeah. So around here, next to me in Milwaukee, we've given them pretty much unlimited money, and the schools still suck.
Given them who? Who is the
Given
them?
MPS as a state and as a local communities, we've given MPS unlimited
Why
money.
are you talking about Milwaukee? I just
It's my
talked to you
local
about the
example because
federal,
I know about it.
sir. I just talked to you about the federal government.
Yeah, the federal government for my school funding is about 2% of the overall budget.
I
2%.
wasn't talking
We can
to
get
you.
rid of
I
it.
said federal. So okay, I
Yeah.
get it. You're so wedded to
Well, you
what
don't
you're
understand
saying
where
that
school
you
funding
can't
comes from
listen
then,
to
ma'am.
us.
Do you understand where the majority of school funding comes from?
I do.
It's not the federal
I
government.
do.
It's
But
not the federal
what I was
government.
talking to you about, sir, I was talking to you about something broader and wider.
I know.
You were asking why white people's money
No, I
should
never brought up white
go
people.
to
I
these.
never brought that up.
All
Please don't
right.
put words in my
Okay.
mouth.
All
Please
right.
don't.
I know
Please don't be a
you
racist.
just said people.
Yeah,
She can't
people.
be racist,
Sir,
buddy.
Well,
you
she is
just
being
said
extremely
people.
racist.
She can't be.
Oh, she can't be.
Sir,
Wow,
excuse me.
that's a mind
Sir,
f.
I have news. Listen, stop talking to white people about racism because mentioning white is
You
not
guys
racism.
are the most racist people on the
Mentioning
internet.
black
This is
not
amazing.
racism. It's what you think about people who are black is the racism. So believing black people are inferior is the racism.
What?
Mentioning black and white is not racism. So
Oh,
saying white people is
yeah.
not a racist statement. White people is a descriptive
No, it's the way you
statement.
said it to me. It was very racist.
How did I say it? How did I say it to
Oh, you
you?
said I want all. I don't know. You said something about all white people's money. You're putting total
I
words in
said
my
what
mouth.
you said. I said what you said. Why
Oh,
should we? That's what you said. Why should we be doing this? And I was
yeah, as a
explaining to
community.
you. But what I was
When I say we, I'm
explaining,
not
sir,
speaking for my own race. That's silly. Like I don't view the world that way. That's a really weird way to view the world. Like if you're just your own race, that's just crazy. Why would you do that? Like,
Valerie, he didn't answer anything
I
you
know he
said.
didn't. And so that's why I'm not even
well,
going to
she
say
doesn't
anything
understand
else.
where school funding comes in.
He's
There's
now
nothing. I mean, I
stirring
can help
because
you.
he's trying to have some myopic conversation about
Well, I'm trying to
Milwaukee
talk about
schools,
reality,
right?
like how school
Whereas
funding and where it comes
where
from.
no, the reality is that you're not talking to victims, you're talking to warriors,
Great.
and you don't seem
So
to
when are you
know
going to
the difference.
warrior?
And
When are you going to fix
so
something?
a warrior statement is the one that I just gave you.
But you're not fixing
I am a
anything.
tax-paying citizen in America.
Excellent.
Black people pay taxes on $5 trillion a year in this country.
Never
So
said they didn't.
black people speaking up for what they want and what they want to see and their
Yeah.
vision of America doesn't make them victims. It makes them warriors,
Okay.
making sure that the money and the income that they earn is directed towards things, people, projects that they also value because I too am American.
Okay. So what about your school board then? Why aren't they doing that? And why aren't you running for school
I'm
board
not
and fixing
talking
it?
about a school board.
Well, that's where the
What are you
change comes
talking
from.
about?
Where do you think the change comes
What are
from?
you talking?
I'm talking about how to actually
Schools
change a school.
schools are one indice.
Okay, we
That's
were talking
one
about a school
that's
though.
one data point
You're
in
going to
life. No,
deflect
we
now.
were
You're
talking.
going to deflect.
That isn't what we were talking about. You were talking
Oh.
about victimology. So when you
No, I was
talked
talking about
victimology,
schools.
were you talking about schools?
Yeah,
No, you were not.
MPS,
When you came
funding,
up here,
federal
you were not.
government. Yeah,
No,
we
you
were.
weren't. No, you weren't.
$18,000 per pupil. Yeah, I was.
Right. So, all right.
Are you just
All right.
are you I don't know. Do you have a problem or are you just a liar? I can't tell.
No, you're a liar because you came
Oh.
up here hot. You came up here hot talking about you people
No,
up here.
I'm just the
That's
boss.
victimology. Da 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 da. That's
I
what
just
you
know what I'm
came up
talking
here
about.
saying.
Yeah, I know because I know
You
what I'm talking
don't.
about.
No, you don't.
You don't
Oh,
know what
Intake,
you're
you
talking
don't.
about. Then why
Okay.
can't you have the conversation with me about what I just said?
Because I got to
About
bring you
the
down to ground
economic
level.
base. Hold on. What I was talking about was the economic base of Black Americans and them being tax-paying citizens. That's
Sure.
what I was talking about.
So why
Now,
do
can you
MPS
speak to
suck?
that? So can you speak to that and why that makes Black people warriors and not
No,
victims?
I just want to figure out why MPS sucks and we can't fix it.
Well, you go and talk to people in NPS about that.
Oh, I have absolutely. State
Okay,
governments try to
what does
help
that
all
have
of
to do
this.
with this? What does that have to do
Well,
with this?
you're telling me it's segregated and there's white people are the problem. It's not. It's all
Sir,
black. It's pretty much all black
America
run.
is still, sir, America is still segregated all over the United States. And the fact that you are acting as if you don't know that is ridiculous.
Well, of course, people stick to their own. That's just humankind at this point. But
okay,
the reality,
so that's what I said. So then why is that
Okay.
then why is that an argument?
I don't know if it's an argument or not, but the reality of humankind
Well,
is
you're arguing
we're all
it
going to be
because
one
I
race
said
someday.
that there are schools I said that there are areas across the country. So America is segregated all across the United States.
Well, yeah, by choice. Black
So why
people
are you
live by
saying
black
that it
people.
isn't?
White people
So
live
then
by white
why are
people.
you saying, okay, for
Asians live
whatever
by
reason,
Asians.
but why are you saying, why are you saying that it isn't true?
Because Milwaukee's mostly all black. So their schools are bad. What's going
If it's
on?
all black, then
Yeah.
that means it's segregated from white people.
By
Oh
choice.
my God.
By their own choice,
Oh
though.
my God.
You're making the
No.
you're
Oh
making
my
the argument that
God. No,
white
it's
people
not.
did this to them. They did
Never
it.
mind. Let me mute myself, host. Let me mute myself.
It's probably a good idea.
Intake. Why is it a good idea? You haven't answered a single thing she's. Dude, listen. The fact that you actually, like, you think in your brain that you did something. You've done nothing. You haven't answered a single question. She asks you about a nationwide thing. You keep going back to Milwaukee and you're giving
Right.
like the same statistic over and over again. Do you think that all the questions she asked, the answer is the same thing? Because everything that she asked you, you gave her back the exact same answer because you don't have the brain width to understand that she asked you about several different things at the same time, and your answer or your response was the exact same thing. I just listened to this for 20 minutes.
So, do you know the difference between segregation and integration?
Yes.
Okay, so it is the system you're talking about. So, Milwaukee, it's all black, so then it's not integrated.
Majority. Yeah, by choice.
Okay, so then that means
Well,
that it's segregated.
I mean,
Then that means that it's
we
segregated.
have programs,
Then that means
busing
that it's
programs.
segregated.
Okay, you don't want to hear it.
Sir, that
Sure.
means that it's segregated. Yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
understand.
but not by force, not by government.
Who cares? It's segregated.
Oh, okay. So it's okay if black people do it to themselves.
Nobody did anything to themselves. It's
Dude,
Yeah.
stop speaking for a
Okay,
community
so let
you're
me
not
ask
a
you a
part of.
question. So
Dude,
when
did you
white
just
people-
say that? I
I'm
can't believe I
curious.
got
So when
that.
white
Oh my
people-
God.
When white people live around white people, they did it.
Dude,
to
your whole
themselves,
page
right?
is speaking for black people. That was hilarious.
No, it's not.
It was hilarious, dude.
What are you
Oh,
talking
that's-
about? I'm speaking for black people.
Oh,
When
go
have
to-
I spoke for black people?
Dude, I just went through your page like
can't
20
you just-
minutes ago.
Yeah, and when? Give me an example.
I don't know. You got a lot of like little videos there where you're just trying to speak for black people, and you
Nope,
are right
that's
now.
reading. It's reading statistics.
Oh, okay.
What have I said?
right.
What have I said that? No, shut the fuck up. What have I said? What have I said in any of my videos?
Well, let's see.
or
Last night
this
you
entire
were
stream?
focused. Yeah, you were focused on Derek Chauvin as if all police officers in the country are that bad, and they're not. And then because you have police experience, because you were a police officer, right?
Yep.
You were a police officer.
Yep.
What
So
what department did you serve on or around?
Go ahead, Valerie.
So since
What-
he's so hyper focused.
what department
on
were you a cop
Milwaukee,
at?
Since he's so hyper focused on Milwaukee, let me give this information. That it says a 2020 study found that 72% of black students in Metro Milwaukee attend hyper segregated schools, where the schools are greater than 90% students of color. That's
course,
what
yeah.
I found in the data.
That's their neighborhood. That's their local area.
51% of students attend schools where greater than 75% of classmates are the same race or ethnicity. So when I use the term segregated and you wanted to fight over it, I used the term correctly. While you were saying I didn't know what I was talking about, I knew what I was talking about, and now I'm giving you it
Gotcha.
back with data. Right?
Gotcha.
And so it is a segregated system.
No,
As
it's not a
school
segregated
systems
system.
it is a segregated system, as systems are all
No.
across the United States. It is.
Okay.
What
Well, I
does
don't
segregated
define a
mean?
neighborhood like a local neighborhood as a system. And I don't define that as a system, but hey, maybe you do, that's fine. It doesn't really matter.
I didn't say a neighborhood.
Okay, so MPS being segregated, is that a bad thing?
I just simply said that it was segregated, and you
Sure.
took exception to it for no reason whatsoever.
Well, because I think of it as a government control thing, like
Well,
government
however
saying.
you think about it
Right,
doesn't
you don't
really
even
matter.
Do you see how you
because
just
it
jumped
is
down my throat
segregated.
instantly? Like I can't even get
Because
two
it's
sentences in.
segregated. Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Get all your sentences.
Well, no, my view of segregation is a government force thing, is a government control thing, like it happened in the South, like the bad stuff, right? I don't view
No,
just people
that's
living where
not
they
what
live as
segregated, but that's not
segregation
what
is a bad thing.
segregate, but that's not what segregated means.
Okay.
You can segregate the girls from the boys. It happens to
Right.
be a word that has a meaning, which means
Gotcha.
separate and separated. That's what it means. So when I use the word segregated, that's what I mean. If I mean it is integrated, I say integrated.
Right. But if a white kid moves into the neighborhood, he's going to go to that school, right? So it's not really segregation, in my opinion. So if the white family moves into 35th and Valit, he's going to go to one of those
Do you
MPS
not know
schools.
what the word? Do you not know what segregate means?
Yeah, but we all have different meanings and different definitions for the similar words. That's the English language.
So then, oh Jesus, Lord
Okay.
Jesus, help me.
All right, so
I cannot. I guess here's
most
what I'm
students
saying
in my
to you.
school are white, but
You're
we have
so
lots of
busy
African
arguing. You're
Americans,
so
Asians,
busy.
Indians, all
But you're
races go to my
arguing
school.
the simplest
But
things
the majority
for no
is white.
reason.
So is that segregated?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's what segregated means.
I know, but you were saying like girls' schools and boys' schools. That's not the best example, maybe, because
I
that's
didn't say girls' schools and boys' schools. I said
You said
could
something girls and
segregate
boys.
Girls from boys.
Right.
I simply said the word segregate means to separate.
but they're not separated. They're not separated
Okay.
by any force, by any
Well,
means of
here's-
measure.
Let me read this again. Let me
They're
see.
just living where they live.
A 2020 study found 72% of black students in Metro Milwaukee attend hyper segregated schools,
Right.
where greater than 90% of the students of
Yeah.
color.
Who
Now,
wrote that? Who
this
wrote
is
that?
from Milwaukee. Let me see
Journal
where
Sentinel?
this is from. The information I just read to you.
Journal Sentinel?
This
Who wrote
is a
it?
report from
Yeah, who
Metro
wrote it?
Milwaukee's
Yeah, who was the reporter?
published by some organization in Metro Milwaukee.
Okay.
That's where the information comes
Right,
from.
so they're
you see
using
how they use
buzzwords.
the
Just
word
because they use
segregated?
the word
They
hyper
use the word
segregation.
segregated,
Yeah,
and
because-
then they said
because they want
by
you to feel something.
segregated, we mean more than 90%
Yeah.
of the students are same race. See?
Right. Okay, so they're playing in. Oh, you muted me. So they're playing into you. Just because they use that word doesn't mean it's fact. These are
What do you mean
morons
they're
that write these
playing-
articles.
But what is there to play into?
Well, my example.
What's your problem with the word? I don't understand.
Because it's misused. All right, you keep muting me, so I can't answer when you mute me. So it's
Because
misused.
she is stop intake stop.
How is the word
When-
being misused?
Okay,
when
You
dude,
can ask
we're
for
having a
something,
conversation. Stay out of
answer.
it, dude. Hey, cop, Mr. Police Officer, stay out of it.
No, Mr. Intake, shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Everything she's asked you in the last 25 minutes, you have barely answered. She
Because
read
you mute
something
me.
and then you did. No, because you are trying to answer before she finishes. You are not listening. You are just
I am.
waiting to respond.
I can think really fast. I know what she's talking about, dude. You're interrupting our
You
conversation.
think because you're having a problem with the word segregation. Segregation can be forced, but something doesn't have to be forced to be segregation.
Okay, then who's doing the segregating? It has to be an action. It's an action word, right?
Nobody's.
it's an
because
adjective.
We live in a racialized America.
Sure.
I'm gonna tell you how it happens with white flight. So when black children integrate into areas, white people pick up and move.
Not around here. We got more black families than ever in my village,
All right.
and
I
nobody's
got you.
moving.
I know
Everybody
because
wants to be
I
here.
know because I know because the province. I know because the province of Milwaukee does not exist as in the same traditions, patterns, and histories of the rest
Oh.
of these United States of America.
There was white flight out of Milwaukee. I'm not going to deny that. The Democrats ruined it. So the Italians, the German, the Polish, all of them left for the suburbs. And the blacks came in, took it over. Bought it up.
Don't
Not
say
saying
that
took
word
it
on
over
my
like
life.
a bad thing.
Don't say that
Oh,
word
God.
on my life.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez.
If
Get
you
triggered over
say the
anything.
word black, if you listen to me, if
Wait.
you say the word black with an S on it again, I'm going to drop you.
Oh, but you could say whites. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, you sure can.
didn't
Because
say
whites wasn't a term. Oh, wait.
Oh my gosh.
Whites. Whites
Do you
was
guys
never
actually want to have a
used as
conversation, or do you
Listen,
just want to be
intake,
idiots on the internet?
Listen,
But in
listen.
Tank, I've tried to have a conversation with you, and
Yeah.
you are getting hyper focused on the most menial things, and you're incapable of having a broader conversation.
Well, I was trying to have
You're
a
not
broader
capable of
conversation,
doing
but
it.
not too broad.
You have been stuck. You've been stuck on what segregation means, telling
No,
me
you
that
have.
we don't live in the South.
Okay.
No, sir, it was you because you said when I said segregation, you said I'm in Milwaukee. That's in the North.
Right.
Sir, there was segregation all across the United States, not just in the South. So here's a
Okay, well, I
newsflash
didn't
for
live
you.
through it, so it
I
doesn't really
am a
matter.
student, excuse me, sir, I am a student who desegregated my school,
Oh,
right?
gosh.
So
What
and
year
I
were
am
you
from the
born?
North. I am from the Midwest,
Right.
right? I grew up about 5 hours from Milwaukee, and I desegregated my school in my state,
What
even though
state? Minnesota, Iowa,
desegregation
Illinois,
began.
Michigan. Which one?
Indiana,
Oh, Indiana.
Indiana,
Gotcha.
Indiana.
Gotcha.
And so my state fought desegregation for 30 years.
Huh.
There are cases where even though desegregation of schools began in the 1950s, that different cities and municipalities have fought desegregation all the way into the year 2000. I only say this to you because when you all keep talking about that's old history and that's ancient history and this is where we are now is dealing with all of the results of all of how these policies have operated. And you sound just like the people in the 50s. You sound just like the people in the 30s and the 1900s. You sound just like them. So how have you evolved?
Intake
Well,
before
okay,
you
so I was born in
respond. Before you
1983.
respond. Okay, so
Oh,
I just
I
said
can't
before you
respond.
respond.
Oh.
Okay, chat, guys, we have 80 people in the live.
Oh.
If you guys are enjoying Valerie skewering this guy, he loves coming
Skewering.
into my live. He got skewered yesterday. He's getting skewered now. If you guys could tap the screen, share the live, and please gift Valerie. If you're going to give any gifts, please give them to Valerie. Show your love to Valerie. She's absolutely charboying this guy. This guy is ready to go on a Big Mac. He's that skewered. He's that cooked. Okay, you can respond now.
I got a friend that owns 8 McDonald's, and none of them are skewered or any of that. They don't cook the Big Macs. Anyways.
Yeah. They
Wonderful.
skewer burgers all the time.
Wonderful, but here's the thing.
Right.
You know people who own 8. McDonald's was one of my large clients where I actually was the consultant out there that was doing the work around getting those people their McDonald's franchises. Wonderful. So
Cool.
now we all have a connection.
Good.
And just to give you more information, Milwaukee is ranked as the worst for hyper segregation out of the nation's largest 50 metro areas.
Right. Yeah, I kind of agree, but the way you see segregation, but not the way I see it. So segregation is an action word to me. I mean, we can debate about this all night. I don't think we're going to agree.
Sir, I didn't do the research study. So this is not how I see it.
It is. It was made
This
for
is
you.
not how I see it. I'm giving
Right. Just
you
like that article
information.
was made for you when they said hyper segregation. I mean,
It
who
was
uses
made
those
for
words
me.
but a liberal
The
journalist?
article was made, excuse me.
Yeah,
the
it's
article
propaganda.
Was made for me.
Yeah, it's propaganda. Most of the news is propaganda.
So stating that the schools have one race is propaganda?
No, using the term hyper segregation is propaganda. I mean, the whole article is framed as propaganda, but using words like that are telling words.
Are you looking?
Yeah, when you see words like that, you know it's a fake news article. Okay,
The article.
so who segregated Milwaukee? I mean, it has to be done by somebody, right?
No, it's
Oh.
just housing patterns.
Right, I agree. I just don't call that segregation, I guess. I just think that that's people doing what people do. That's it.
Okay, so if people were redlined into certain areas.
Oh, see, here we
right?
go. Now we're getting, now you're going to bring it back to the action of it. Now you're bringing it back to an adjective.
Redlining is a verb, I think.
Well, whatever. I wasn't the best English person. I guess it could be used as both. A verb, is that an action?
redlining.
Adjectives is a describer. Yeah, you're right. It's a verb.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a
And
verb. It doesn't really matter, but it's an
redlining
action
So
thing.
me mentioning redlining as a policy, because the question you asked
Right, what
was
policy?
how did we get, excuse me, you asked how do we get segregated areas within cities? I thought that was the question that I was asked.
Sure, maybe.
Okay.
But is segregation a bad thing?
I was
I guess,
giving you
let me ask this overall
how-
question. Is segregation a
but I
bad
was
thing?
trying to explain to you how that happens in cities. And when I gave you
I already
the
told you how it happened in
specific
Milwaukee.
term-
I already told you. I already told you
Yeah,
what happened in
what's that?
Milwaukee. So the Democrats made all the whites flee, the
Okay,
Germans,
hang on
the
before he
Italians, the
keeps
Polish.
going, guys. I'm gonna run a poll
Right.
real quick. The poll's gonna be smiley face if you think Valerie's cooking, or cry face if you think intake is cooking.
All smileys,
We'll
please.
see.
All smileys.
We'll
I don't want to
see.
have any black fragility here. All smileys. So,
Excuse
host,
me.
let's talk about what department you worked at
What?
for police.
Wait. What did you just
I'm
say?
encouraging smileys. I don't want anybody losing their minds, having their feelings hurt.
Well, listen, I did hear you say that you were born in 1983. Young
Correct.
man, when you were born in 1983, I was going to the prom. I graduated from high school in 1984.
Great.
I was out of college in 1989. So you and I are not the same. And I
Well, I
assure you
agree.
that the way that we were built, the way that we were built in the 60s and 70s far outweighs you
Yeah.
all and your everybody gets a trophy generation. So
Oh
don't
no.
worry about me and my fragility.
Okay.
Okay.
I know, but
Because
you're stuck in a world that
I,
doesn't exist
excuse me,
anymore,
sir.
really.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Oh, it's just
As
you
I
talk,
said to
Howard.
you, I desegregated a school when I was 5. So I've been dealing with little white boys like
You
since I was
desegregated a
5 years
school
old.
at 5. Why? Because you
Yes,
attended
kindergarten.
it?
That's when we
Oh,
go to kindergarten.
so you
That's when we
attended
go to
it.
kindergarten.
Oh, I see. Okay. So if a new
I
black family moves into
desegregated,
30,
meaning
okay.
they didn't have black
Yeah, I
students
got you.
there,
I got
and
you.
I was in the first group of
Yeah, I
black
got you.
students that desegregated the
I got
school.
you.
Yeah.
I
So
got you.
I've been listening. I've been listening to the yous of the world since I was 5.
So our
I
schools aren't
know what you're
segregated
gonna
then. They have
say.
white people in
Excuse me,
them.
sir. Sir, excuse me. I know what you're gonna say before you say it, because you all haven't come up with anything new since the 70s.
I was born in 83, man. I don't know what I was saying in the 70s, but it was nothing. Likely nothing. Likely.
It's
Sir,
called
I didn't.
accountability. It's called taking accountability
No,
for
that's
what
bullshit.
we
Yeah,
have
that's-
done as okay. Of
Yeah,
course
we
it's
can't live in a
bullshit. Of
society
course
like
it's
that.
bullshit.
Well, you can't live in a society
we
like
can't,
that.
'cause
Saying like, oh,
you
somebody did
know
this,
why?
but I
Hang
had
on,
nothing to do with
shut
it.
up. I
I
haven't
like
said
how,
really nothing
dude,
because Valerie is
you guys talk
well enough
over
cooking
me.
you. I haven't had to say anything. But let
Why
me say something
can't I
real quick.
speak?
No, let me shh, because you're
Are
interrupting
you-
me. I haven't
are
said
you-
nothing.
are you
I've let you
scared of
talk.
me?
Stop. Listen.
What
So
police
listen.
department did you work
So
for?
your
What
your
police department?
idea, I already told you. I worked for the Minnesota State Highway Patrol. I've already told you that several times.
So you're a state
Your
trooper?
idea, your
You were a
idea,
statey?
if okay, so I'm
State?
okay, so I'm gonna disconnect you because I'm done. I don't play that fucking game. Your idea of what you just said, we can't control what people have done in the past, and this is what Valerie is saying. Without taking accountability and stop putting people in positions of power who think exactly the same way as their person who was there before them did. This is why these systems continue to go the way they are. The outcomes are going to be the exact same because you don't want to acknowledge that they're happening. You're saying, well, that's not my fault. I wasn't that racist white guy who put that system into place. I'm not the one who dispersed that funding. So fuck it, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about, intake. And that is what we're talking about. As us as white people taking accountability and calling ourselves out to fix it. Instead of sitting here pointing at Valerie or pointing at the black community and going, this is your fault, this is your crime, this is your poverty, this is da. Instead of doing that, we could look ourselves in the mirror and
It's
say,
Democrats' policy.
whoa, us white people have consistently put people in power who do these things. Let's call those things out and dismantle those systems. It's pretty clear. It's pretty cut and dry. And Valerie said well enough.
You worked for the
and
Minnesota
you
Highway Patrol.
completely ignored most of it half the time. There was some of the times she was talking and you were like directly talking over her at me. Like she wasn't even addressing you. You're disrespectful. You don't acknowledge inherent racism. I would actively say you have a lot of interpersonal racism to deal with. And on top of that, you have a lot of misogyny to deconstruct as well, guy. I rest my case. Valerie, you did amazing.
Thank you. He's gone. I will drop down. I'm just like, what?
Real quick, before you drop. Guys, Valerie runs
I'm not
an
gone.
amazing
He booted me,
show.
but I'm here.
I'm always cooking for the kiddos and my wife, and you guys got to check her out. She opened my eyes about some of the things about the adoption systems that I did not know about. Runs great panels. She's very respectful. So if you guys could, before she goes, gift her, follow her, and W's in the chat because dude got charbroiled. The guy went through a Hardee's charbroiler like 4 times. By the way, he came in here yesterday and got completely smoked about George Floyd. He had no idea about that entire case. Absolute deplorable young man.
What are you talking about?
I'm
We
gonna
watched the
pray
body
for him
cam footage together.
because I believe he needs some prayer. And I want you to know, guy, I heard your kiddos in the background, and they're inherently racist. And if you don't deconstruct the process, you're going to raise them to be exactly the same way. And so you should probably do some deconstruction. Just a little bit of advice. But anyways, Valerie, I'm going to pass it over to you if you have anything you'd like to say.
No, listen, thank you for having me up today. I really appreciate it. And sorry if I got a little bit too, you know what I mean? I do my best to keep my cool, but some of this was just like,
Reality?
talking
Logic,
to Sid.
reason?
But I think here's what you said that was that is really important. And that is oftentimes in these conversations, people are simply repeating talking points that they've heard, right? People are using one-liners that they are expecting to kind of hit or land. What they're not expecting is an actual response.